This video is going to follow the book's example of forward inclusion to reproduce the result shown in figure 13.18. Stepwise regression with Excel can be a fairly tedious process, and forward inclusion is probably much more tedious than backward elimination, but this video will give an example of how it can be done. First of all, in order to begin the process, we have to select that variable which has the highest single correlation or the highest R-square when it's used as a predictor of under 5 mortality. Here's under 5 mortality, and here is safe water, for example, and this is the R-square. And if we look at the next analysis that was done on the basis of a single predictor variable, we have here sanitation and the R-square. The R-square for sanitation is 0.56. The R-square for safe water was 0.43. Going down the set of analyses, health services is 0.43. DPT is 0.49. CPR, contraceptive prevalence rate, is 0.72. The log of GNP is 0.53. Female literacy is 0.56. And total fertility rate is 0.67. So the highest R-square for all of these variables is the R-square for CPR. CPR at 0.72 or approximately 0.72 will be the first variable entered into the analysis, and it will be compared to all other variables to find the two-variable set that predicts the largest proportion of the variance. And here's how we'll do that. We'll go back to the top. We'll take CPR, copy that, and as the book suggests, we'll paste it in column W. Now we'll go back and get the first of the other variables, safe water, copy that, and paste it in column X. Now these two variables will become the first two in our analysis. So we'll go to Tools, Data Analysis. We'll select regression. The regression window will come up, and the dependent variable will be under 5 mortality in K1, Control Shift down arrow. The independent variable range will be this set of copied variables, safe water and sanitation, Control Shift down arrow. We have labels in the first row, and the output range will be beginning in column Z. When I say OK, we get this analysis. And as this analysis shows, CPR and safe water together account for 72% of the variance. You might recall that CPR on its own accounted for almost 72% of the variance. Now we'll look at the next of the variables. The next variable we'll look at will be sanitation. In order to do that, we'll go back to this set of variables we're working with, and we'll insert a column, and we're going to paste sanitation here. So we'll go back, copy sanitation, come back to our new X column and paste it. And now we will go to Tools, Data Analysis, OK on Regression, and you'll notice that the Y input range, the blinking dotted line, is still on under 5 mortality, which is our dependent variable. If we look at our independent variable, W1 to X76 is still this set. So we don't have to change either the dependent or the independent variable. What we do have to change, however, is the output range, and we will now make the output AA21 as the book suggests. When we say OK, we get this result, and we see that CPR and sanitation together account for about 77% of the variance in under 5 mortality. The next step will be to repeat the same process. We'll insert a new column here. We'll copy Health Services. We'll paste Health Services here, and we'll go to Tools, Data Analysis, Regression. The dependent variable range will still be under 5 mortality. The independent variable range will now include CPR and Health Services. The output range will be changed to A41, and when I say OK, we get this new result. Health Services and CPR together account for about 74% of the variance. We'll continue this process until we have paired CPR with DPT, log GNP, female literacy, and TFR as predictors. When all of the other independent variables have been paired one at a time with CPR, we can see what the results are here in columns AF and AG. Here we see that safe water accounts for 72% of the variance when paired with CPR. CPR and sanitation account for almost 77% of the variance. CPR and Health Services account for almost 74%. CPR and DPT account for 74%. CPR and log of GNP account for 75%. CPR and FemLit account for 74%. And CPR and TFR account for 73%. So, as it turns out, it will be CPR and sanitation that are the included variables in the next step.